Greetings, guys. Welcome to another week of Evolve. I am your host, Monette Brann-Natta, and I'm so happy to have you back for our month of celebrating all of our loves for all of our mothers. I really pride myself on making sure that we're hearing from a wide range of mothers. And that's why I'm so excited to have this mother on today to bring her unique perspective from her community, from her life, from her personal experience. I'm so happy to have you on the show today, Reddz. Welcome to Evolve.
Well, thank you for having me. Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, a good afternoon, good morning, and all of that, indeed, to everyone, no matter what time you are listening. I'm so happy to have you here today because I think what you offer is so needed. Especially in today's world, I see that everything is changing, and we're really becoming more accepting as a society. Even though there are some parts where we wonder, I see that there is more acceptance as a society. So you are a mother, and
yes,
you are a member of the LGBT community, and I feel that it's really important for our listeners to understand that no matter what your gender, that we're all just humans having a real experience. Mothering or parenting really doesn't change or affect who you are in your private life. In fact, and that's why I thought you had some really interesting viewpoints to tell us about today. So tell us about how your daughter came into your life, and then maybe we'll get into more of your story as we talk.
Well, for starters, I've been in this lifestyle for roughly 18 years, and coming from, let's say, from one end of the spectrum to the other, with no median, with no in-between stage, it was just a switch, if you will, very swiftly. She was pretty much born into this, so it was nothing to have to, drastically change on her end. This is all she knew. So it made the transition rather smoothly.
Okay. Yeah, it definitely, to me, would make it a more smooth transition. She's here. And when I found out about your story, I started thinking about you and your daughter growing up together. The fact that you were coming into who you were as Reddz, and your daughter was becoming this little person at the same time. Can you tell us about what that experience was like?
Well, naturally, she, noticed that, through schooling from kindergarten, first grade throughout, that I wasn't like the other moms, that I was different, considering the role that I play as the aggressor usually in my relationship. So naturally, I didn't dress like everyone. I didn't wear skirts and dresses, and, my demeanor wasn't as such, on a feminine level. So therefore, you have, her looking at me and just seeing mom, and she just always embraced it. She always continued to call me mother, mom, mommy, and never made me feel like as if I was anything other, which I was feeling on top of the world with that.
Which is amazing because some kids, just kids every day, have issues accepting their parents, no matter what their life is or anything.
Right.
So that's a testament to your daughter. Your mother that raised you, was she supportive of you having a daughter? Was she old school? What was her stance on you in this lifestyle and then you as a mother?
Well, naturally, my mother, coming from a Christian household, was pretty much strict, and we were alienated from, secular and not really be able to do a lot of the things that, that most people do. My mother, she ran a tight ship, if you know what I mean. So with that being said, me being a lesbian, which is non-traditional in the household, was a no-go for her, let alone she was more interested in parenting and making sure that I'll be the best mother that, could be possible. So her concern definitely was there on behalf of my child.
So she was hands-on and she was involved with the process of you raising your child.
Yes, very much so.
Good. So I'm glad actually that you shared that because there's a lot of LGBTQ community members that do not have that experience when they're dealing with raising their children, where their parents just kind of back away. Do you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
Don't want any part of it. So it's amazing and wonderful and a blessing that your mother loved you no matter what was going on and helped you be a better mother by being a good grandmother. So
yes, that to me was everything. Granted, she didn't approve of who I was partnering with. However, it didn't negate the fact that she was being a role there on a constant basis for whenever I needed her and such. As far as helping me out, if you will, and playing her part as the grandmother. So that's very important. Having a support system is definitely an essential, especially in today's time.
Yes, especially in today's time. So anybody out there listening, please know that it does help. It shifts. It doesn't matter what your sexuality preference is. You need support when you're raising kids. You need the help of someone that loves you when you're raising kids. I think that it's important that we talk about you mothering because that is the theme of the show. But your story, because it is different, does deserve a little attention to some of the nuances in it. And there was a lot going on with you. And I wanted to understand where you were coming from as a person because so much was going on in your life at the time, not just about yourself, but with this beautiful little child. What have you learned about your parenting style through everything that was going on? Are you a disciplinarian? Are you the laid-back mother? Are you the mother that micromanages?
Well, let's just say I play all roles. I'm a woman of many hats. And so
Okay.
I'm the disciplinarian. I'm the fair parent. I'm fair but fun, if you will. But I do believe in structure. With that comes respect. And then, the love comes. It comes and is there. And I'm just glad that it's still in existence to this day. Whereas you have a lot of kids now, they're lacking that, I come from an era to where a child is to be seen and not heard. You see, I allow my daughter to give me some feedback, but again, there's a time and place for everything,
Right.
So within reason, of course, not during the time of verbally disciplining, but during the time after the fact, and then I'm going to let her know the reason being on why we had to come to these measures and which the steps that need to be taken in order to correct these measures.
So you're definitely the disciplinarian then. That's the route you take.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But she would say now, I would say, you'll thank me for it later, This is my mom told me. And you know what? I really didn't think that I would, but I am. I'm thanking her for it.
I've reflected, especially on this show. I'll be talking a little bit about my mom later, and I've really reflected and realized some of the things that my mom did that I thought were crazy really helped prepare me for the world, even though I did not agree. Trust me, when it was happening, I did not agree. But
right.
It really
it's like, who does that?
Me. Exactly,
right.
Yeah. Who does that? Yes, I absolutely have been there with my mom, especially having some great memories thinking about it this week. And so one of the things you would make clear to me is that you are mommy first before anything when it comes to your daughter. So whether you're disciplinarian or not, you're mommy first.
Absolutely. Just as I mentioned earlier, that I'm a woman who wears many hats. And, I'm somebody's sister, I'm somebody's mother, somebody's aunt, and woman stands out more clear. And mother just capitalize it. And being a mother to me, it fulfills so many things in my life. It put things in perspective for me. It just simply highlight what, everything that I have and why I'm doing this. It makes it better. It actually it basically set aside, say, you know what, this is why I have to do it. This is, I have to do it for the muscle, for her. Her. That's why I say I'm a mother first. Everything we do, sacrifices, our thought, our process, because, again, if I don't succeed, she don't succeed.
Right. Absolutely. And that's the way that I think that all parents are looking at it and why they make some of the tough choices that they have to make during the time that they're raising us is it's about survival of the fittest while you're raising your children.
It is. And, sadly enough, you definitely have to, be assertive and be aggressive and not, take things on the chin and just get out there and do what you need to do, because guess who's watching? These kids, they're watching, and she watches.
Right, absolutely. Now, I know with my mother, being a very involved mother about things with my life, she often weighs in on things that are going on in my life, and I allow that because I really value her wisdom. Have you found that your mother chimes in on her thoughts with you in regards to raising your daughter or your parenting?
Well, naturally, there's always, some way, shape, or form, it needs to reflect her. It needs to be, somewhat in alignment of what she may feel at a certain degree. But then I think she learns to respect me as the mother that I am and the woman that I am first and foremost, and that she sees as the outcome that obviously, look at the product here, let's see, let's check, am I there, am I stable, am I everything that with my child needs, I'm a nourisher, provider, protector, am I there? And she has no choice but to respect it.
Amen. Amen. I love that. So that's a message to the listeners. If you are doing what your parents raised you to do, and if you were fortunate to have good parents that fit into your life, then even if they're calling into questioning your parenting, remember that you are the person they made you to be. So stand firm in your truth. And I think that's what you do while you're raising your daughter, Reddz. A few minutes ago, you spoke, too, about changing your entire persona as you adjusted to your own truth about your life and who you were. And I know that children don't see all of that when they love us. I've worked in preschools, and I've mentioned that before. They just love you for you when they love you. But have you ever had a situation where the outside world tried to color your daughter's opinion of you? I ask this, and it's not because it's because sometimes, usually, heterosexual, cisgendered people experience the world through different eyes. So can you tell us about that or anything that may have happened like that?
Sure. I recall an incident when my daughter was about 6 years old, and she was coming home from an after-school program, and she just ran up to me and, full of laughs and just smiling eyes and just was like, "Mommy, you look like a man." I froze. I just stood there like, yeah, you hear from the outside world, of course,
Right.
You're expected to, you got a woman who wears men's clothes, but to hear from your child, at that point, I knew somebody was talking about me. Had to be, because I don't teach her that. This is not something that she's, ignorance is learned behavior. We all know this. So if I'm teaching my child that, hey, there's going to be people in this world that's not going to be quite like you or anybody that you may know. So with that being said, don't judge them. Do not judge them based upon what they look like or what they seem to do. You judge them according to how they treat you. And it froze me. I was a little taken back by it, and I was like, oh, wow, okay. So I had to actually kind of look over my outfit there, And
I like that you were real. You were like, okay, let me do an inventory before I flip out here. Let me see what's
right.
Real about.
As assess the situation, look around, like, okay, all right, now we see what the situation is, okay.
Right.
And I just kindly just talked to her, and I was like, yeah, but you're okay with this, right? As I bend down with my hand on my knee, stooping to where she's at, and she's like, yes, Mommy. And we go off, onto the park, wanted ice cream, and is playing after her. In fact, she just walked in the room.
Hi, daughter, in the room in the background.
Hello.
Yeah. Hi. I would love to hear if she has anything to say about mothering. If she's shy, I understand, because we certainly didn't go over that. But I definitely relate to having to have that experience and talking about it. And I think the way that